Hi everyone, welcome to another video from ThisKindaGirl.com, the home of smart and sexy swinger advice. I will take you from nervous newbie to sophisticated swinger in no time. Now, I know it's been a while since I've made video. It's been a very long time because I have been making podcasts recently and also written content. However, I have time. I also have the enthusiasm and the passion has returned today. Not that I'm usually not passionate, but sometimes I do find it hard to kind of manage and get the time. However, tonight I have time and I really want to make a video because I've really missed being behind the screen and making proper video for you all. So, in honour of that, I have my In This Moment t-shirt on. I'm a massive In This Moment fan. I love you, Maria Brink. So if you're wondering what it is, that's what it is. I love In This Moment. Fun fact about me. So if you haven't done already, do please like and subscribe to my channel. And let's get straight down to tonight's topic, which is what if I can't get hard when I am at a swingers party? And I'm also going to be talking a little bit about what we as women can do to help guys out a little bit and how we can perhaps put their mind at rest, at ease, and also talk about the actual facts, what swinging is really like. So recently, I'm sorry, just before I get started, I'm so sorry to waffle on. I'm going to be making a long podcast episode about this as well because there's a lot to say, but for this video, I am just going to be focusing on those two topics. So recently I asked my fans over on Instagram what their concerns were regarding sexual insecurities and swinging. Now, one of the most popular responses I received was, what if I can't get hard? Now, obviously, I don't have a penis, okay? I'm well aware of that and I'm not about to start giving you loads of advice because, you know, I don't know what it's like. However, I have been with enough men and been at enough swinger parties to know what it's like when your partner either can't get an erection or perhaps loses their erection halfway through, or perhaps you're in the middle of a session with other swingers and it happens. So I have experienced it firsthand, of course. I just don't have the parts myself. So here are a few words of wisdom from your girl on the inside. First of all, fellas, cut yourself some slack. No man has ever walked into a swinger party with a massive boner and had sex with multiple women and orgasmed multiple times and maintained his erection without any kind of medical intervention. We all know that that just is not how it happens, okay? Now, I have been in situations where I've been having sex with people and for no kind of apparent reason, they've lost their erection, or perhaps it's all been going well as far as I was concerned or as they was concerned, and then, you know, it's happened. It does happen. It is part and parcel of having sex. So really, it's nothing to be overly concerned about or worried about, and you just have to think it's really normal, okay? Now, it's not just men who obviously lose their erections. You know, sometimes women, sometimes you just kind of, you don't want it anymore. Sometimes it doesn't feel great. Sometimes you can't relax, you can't get into it, and for whatever reason it is, part of you may want it, but the other part of you just isn't able to enjoy that sexual intimacy or whatever it is you're up to. So, you know, it's not always men who suffer with these things. Obviously it's different for women, but you know, you're not on your own, fellas. It happens to us as well. Not just single people either, it happens to couples, it happens to in all kinds of situations, whether it's like one-on-one play or whether there's like two guys and a girl or two girls and a guy. It doesn't really matter, it can happen in all situations. The best thing that I do in those situations, if it's happening to me, is kind of change up whatever it is I'm doing, change up whatever it is me and my partner are doing, and just kind of, or we, you know, take time out, or I take time out by myself. Feeling under pressure to perform is really damaging, especially for first-time male swingers. If you've ever been to a swingers club or a party, then there's a good chance that in your mind, the expectation on you will be to get hard and to remain hard for the night or for the duration of the play session. Let me clarify a few things, okay, guys? Firstly, no one has sex for hours on end without some kind of medical intervention. That's not how the body works. I'm sure some people can last for a long time. I'm sure some people do, but 9 times out of 10, you don't have sex for an hour, do you? You just don't. I mean, some guys may, and that's fine, but I'm generalizing here. So first of all, it's absolutely fine to not have your erection for a whole hour or whatever it is. You know, you can play with people in a party situation, meet couples, meet single people, get involved with things, kind of relax, have a drink, chill out, and then perhaps meet other people and play. There's no kind of like getting straight down into it and just banging for hours on end. That's not how it works. Obviously, there are some clubs and situations where it might be a little bit like that. But again, for most swinger situations I've been in, it's much more relaxed and much more sociable. So there's no expectation to kind of just instantly get a boner when you walk in and remain like that. Now, over the years, I've begun to appreciate that you don't have to have penetrative sex at a swingers party to have a great time. I think this is something which I'm going to touch on a lot more in my upcoming articles. And also, people are writing to me to ask me, kind of, is this normal? Is it okay? Is it okay to do other things? Or perhaps they're only interested in doing other things. They're not overly interested in penetrative sex. Is that okay? So this is definitely something which I am going to be writing and making more content about, because it's a topic which a lot of people are talking about. And recently I did write an article over on Medium saying, well, it was called Why Destination Penetration Isn't Doing It For Me Anymore. I mean, it is doing it for me, but it's not the be all and end all. And in the article I talk about how there's lots of other ways to have sex and lots of other ways to enjoy yourself, and why it's more, for me these days, it's more about getting into the mindset and the sensual mindset, rather than just you know, A to B sex, which is how I used to have sex when I was younger. So the question, sorry, I'm just going off at a tangent. The question I was sent, in the question I sent, the guy also wrote that these days the pleasure he gets from sex derives much more from the judicious use of mouth and fingers. So he feels his erectile performance is less important because of this. So I think, going back to what I just said, I think that person who wrote to me is also kind of come to the same realization that I have, that it's a lot more about being in the moment and also other ways to have sex. He's realized that you don't have to go in with the penetrative sex at swinger parties in order to have a great time. So I think, guys and girls, you can find a little bit of comfort and a little bit of reassurance in that. I mean, these aren't things that you don't already know. There's loads of ways to have sex and great ways to have foreplay. But what I'm saying is there's more than one way to enjoy yourself. Now, what can women do to put a guy's mind at ease? This is something which the person who sent me the question included. He said, what's my take on it, and what can women do to put their guy's mind at ease, or a guy's mind at ease? Now, you know, you're having a great time with a guy in a club, clothes are off, and you're having awesome sex just the way you like it. You know, it's getting hotter and hotter. And then without warning, his penis starts to feel quite limp. The guy gets embarrassed. The guy gets frustrated. Perhaps you get a little bit embarrassed and uncomfortable. And you know, it's one of those situations where you're not quite sure what to do, what to say. And it can be awkward, and especially if you don't know each other overly well, it can be quite crushing. And the most important thing to remember in a situation like that is just not making a big deal out of it. Certainly don't blame him, and certainly don't blame yourself. These things happen. They happen without any kind of like prior warning. It doesn't matter how much you're into somebody. They happen. It doesn't matter whether you're with a long-term partner or someone you've just met. It can still happen. The worst thing you can do is kind of internalize and think, well, is it me? Does he not like me? Does he not fancy me? Does he not find me attractive? Or you think, well, is it because of this, this and this? And the flaws that you have about yourself and you think about yourself, you think that he's picked up on those. So the worst thing you can do is for me is to talk about those things and to go, and instantly your mind just starts racing. I know what it's like. I've been there so many times, but believe me, that is not helpful in these situations. The best thing to do is just not make a big deal out of it, and treat people with compassion and kindness, and just, you know, take time out. You know, do you want time out? Do you want to chill out? Do you want to get a drink? Do you want to chat? Do you want to go and play with someone else with it? And that's the only way to deal with these things. Definitely not blaming one another is the worst thing you could do. You know, sadly, men are expected to have a lot of sexual stamina. Now, again, this is something I wrote about recently. There is a huge double standard when it comes to men and women having sex. Men are expected to have a lot of stamina, and yes, some men, they really do. Some women have a lot of stamina as well, but there is that double standard and that expectation of men being expected to kind of have sex all night, and the women, they don't have to do as much work. And that does happen, and you do see it a lot in clubs and parties, and a lot of times when you have sex, it does go down like that, but there is a huge double standard. And it does pay to understand that, you know, guys need time out. Perhaps he's not used to being in that situation. Perhaps you're not used to being in that situation if you're the one who needs time out. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. I'm not going to carry on because it's already at like 11 minutes, and I know that's quite a long time for a video. I'm going to be making more videos on this content, and like I said, I am making a podcast as well. I do hope you've enjoyed it. And it's made sense. Do check out the description for this video if you want to join the Discord, where we all get involved in the conversation. I record my podcast on that, and there's loads of like-minded swingers and people in the lifestyle. If you haven't done already, do press like and subscribe, and check me out at ThisKindaGirl.com, and I shall see you very soon.